Hey there, Chad Weber here, and today we are going to talk about engagement. We're going to talk about how to get attention. We're going to talk about how to re-engage the fire, rekindle that fire that your leads, that your prospects had. Okay, so oftentimes we wonder what gets people to initially take action, and then suddenly, next thing you know, it's you're chasing them for weeks or even months. I don't know, maybe you follow up a couple of times and then throw in the towel. But regardless, it feels almost like it's impossible to get them to call you back, to get them interested, and you're wondering really what happened. How do I stimulate that interest again? How do I fire them up? And I'm going to show you guys some really cool things here. So bear with me just a second. Now, what I have on the screen here are the results of the survey and the polls that we sent out to loan officers. But I'm gonna get a couple more responses before I go over the details of those with you, because there's actually some secondary questions that I'm gonna get answered, and then we're gonna go over that another time. So I'm just gonna kind of pump past these real quick, and we're gonna take a look at these banners. Now, these are LinkedIn graphic or cover image banners. And what we're talking about LinkedIn for a very good reason here. But first things I want to point out that I understand that there are typos on these banners. These are not banners that I'm using yet. They're still being tweaked and fine-tuned. Most of these I designed just this week. So they're in like the third phase, but they have maybe one or two more phases to go through of some tweaks and some modification to the text and even some of the placement of the images here. But I felt that they were still very good representation of good, solid marketing principles. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because if you go over to, first of all, we're getting killer results on LinkedIn right now. And there's very few loan officers are fishing over there. And it may sound a bit risky or extreme to say this, but I would put up what we're doing on LinkedIn right now with about 98 to 99% of what loan officers are doing on running Facebook ads, and LinkedIn would kick its butt. LinkedIn would kick its butt. The ROI is not even in the same ballpark. The quality of the leads, not even in the same ballpark. The loan officers are still throwing their money out there, fishing in the same pond as everyone else. And there's nothing wrong with Facebook. In fact, I still recommend it as a marketing vehicle. But when you have something that's not attached to spending money on ads, that's delivering results like this is, you'd be absolutely nuts to at least not engage in it. And I mean, that's okay though. I mean, you guys can keep fishing in that pond, and that just leaves more leads for the rest of us. So but I want to point something out about LinkedIn is if you go ahead and try this out, guys. Go ahead and try this out. Go to LinkedIn and do a search. Just do a search for loan officers, mortgage broker, mortgage banker, whatever keywords you like. And what you're going to find is if you go and you look at the top, look at the very top where the cover image goes on people's profile, tell me what you see. Because here's the problem. Here's the problem. And I'm going to tell you what I found in just a moment, but I want to point something out. Right now, with what's going on with COVID-19, I'm getting flooded with emails from people talking about business being down and blah, 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 and it's all because of the coronavirus. That's not true, guys. Whenever business goes down, it has nothing to do with the marketplace. It has to do with you, with what you prepared for, with how you structured your business, how you chose to proceed with your business, okay? Because I have guys right now, and when we go over the results of those polls, you'll see there are people right now that are actually doing more business now than ever before. There are people now that their business has not gone down even one tick. And there's guys that are doing business right now who said, well, maybe I lost about 5% or maybe even up to 10% of my business, but I'm still getting about 90%. But then we got the 76 to 78% of loan officers saying that their business is either critical, meaning it's been more than cut in half, or even worse. And the difference is those who are saying that their business has not really experienced a drop, it's because they structured it properly and they took their marketing seriously enough. Now, there's a little test that you can run to see how serious you take in your market, your marketing and your lead generation, and how serious you take your business in general. And the very first question on that list is, have you been in business for 6 months or more? You've been a loan officer for more than 6 months. If the answer is yes. The follow-up question to that is, do you have your CRM and database structured and automated? If you've been in business for more than 6 months and you answer no to that, you automatically drop down to about a C to a D grade on how serious you take your marketing. And the reason I say that, and guys, some people don't like to hear this, but you guys know I'm a straight shooter on this, and this is a fact. This is a fact. That no business analyst, if you were to go and talk to somebody, a consultant on structuring a business or trying to secure financing, if they saw that you did not have a database, nobody on the planet would loan you a penny. Why? Because they would automatically state that either A, you don't understand marketing, or B, you don't take it serious enough. It's that simple. That's a fact. That is what we would call kindergarten level marketing. And kindergarten, not saying that it's easy and simple, but rather that it's something that you learn like right out of the gate, that you should not be in business without a database, because that is your asset. Everybody in your database is an asset. And the studies have been proven again and again and again and again that generally you're producing at 30% less output at a bare minimum. In the mortgage industry, I would say it's closer to 50 to 60%. And when you counter in how much further conversions drop, I would say it's probably about half. You're operating at about half. That you could easily double your business if you were properly mining your database. Now, I'm bringing that up along with LinkedIn for a reason, guys. It's because very, very few loan officers take their marketing serious. And here's how we can tell. Like when we go to LinkedIn and we look at those cover images, I want you to scroll through and look at the profiles. In fact, let me show you how we do it. Now, I scrolled through 76 profiles here, seven and a half pages worth. And what I found, now I'm not picking on anybody here. I almost should blur this out, but I'm just clicking on it because it's a top result, not to pick on anybody here. But out of those 76 profiles I looked at, this is what LinkedIn gives you by default. How many of these do you think had this blank with just a blank LinkedIn default graphic here? 54 out of 76. This is public. It's a public profile. It's seen by a lot of people. Could you imagine going to a big bank, looking up a big bank's page, and seeing it completely incomplete like this? Is that a good look? Is there anything on this cover image, this huge blank space that's just left blank here? That would be like opening up a business and then leaving where your sign goes to your business completely blank. Is there anything here that makes me want to scroll down and say, this person looks like they're good and thorough at what they do? I'm not saying I'm not saying anything negative about the loan officer. This could be one of the best loan officers out there. I don't know. But it's about perception. It doesn't matter what the loan officer knows about his or her business. What matters is what do the people, how do they perceive you? Because when we talk about taking marketing serious or not, every step of the way, every little thing that you do is an opportunity. You have to view it as an opportunity. When an email goes out, it's an opportunity. When a lead comes in, there's an opportunity. When a person sees your website, that's an opportunity. When people see your Facebook business page, that's an opportunity. I'll throw something else out there. When I actually ran the numbers, there was 81% of loan officers' profiles on Facebook don't even state that they're loan officers. And then I'll get those same people going, well, yeah, I haven't really been getting, I've been trying, I haven't gotten any business off of Facebook. Well, when something as simple as that, you're not taking it serious when you don't put enough thought into what you do to even upload something here. 54 out of the 76 are blank. And then amongst the rest, let me tell you what I saw. And again, I'm not opening up a bunch of, because I don't want to sit there and pick on these people. But I urge you to go and do the same. Just come up here, type out mortgage broker or mortgage banker or loan officer, mortgage loan officer, whatever you want, even the word mortgage. Now, when it kicks back the results, you have to click on people, because right now it's giving you mixed results. So you have to click on people, and then it will filter out and show you the personal profiles. And I want you to go look at them. Now, these are all purple because I've already clicked on all, because that's the keyword that I searched for. And I went through 7 pages of this. And I actually put down a check mark for everyone that did not have a graphic. And then even amongst those that had graphics, I saw a bunch of clouds. So again, what about clouds? When I see clouds, it goes, yeah, this is the loan officer for me. It's a missed opportunity, guys. This is what I mean by a lot of loan officers tell me how good they are at marketing, but when the proof is in the pudding, I'd say fewer than 5%. I would even consider average grade marketing. Most are below average, far, far below. When I go to I market in a bunch of different industries, guys. It pains me to say this because I've been in the mortgage industry so long, but loan officers are amongst the bottom. The bottom when it comes to performance, implementation, or taking their business seriously, investing in themselves. I don't know why that is, because you guys earn so much more per sale, but you invest so little either financially or your own time, because you really only have two choices here. If you've been in business, I have guys that have been in business for 18, 20, 25 years, still haven't set up a CRM. And I'll look at the call logs and say, these guys have called me for 5 or 6 years saying, or responded to these polls for 5, 6 years saying, I'm looking back at 2011, the same people saying, yeah, I'm just going to do it myself. I'll get around to it, maybe in a month or two. Well, it's been 8 or 9 years. So that's 8 or 9 years of performing, losing about half of your business. And yet they still want to be taken as serious individuals and complain when the market falls out from underneath them. But the reality is they don't prepare. So I bring that up not to browbeat, but to drive home the point that we got to take action. You have two options. Do it yourself. But then people say, well, I just don't have the expertise, or I don't have the time. Well, now you do. And if you don't have the time right now, make the time, A, or B. They'll say, it's not just about the time, but I just don't understand all the time. Okay, well then learn. You got videos out there, buy a course, do whatever. When half of your business is at stake, you will do what it takes to learn, or you will just pay somebody who's already good at it to get it done. And if you don't, then either don't complain and accept that you're earning half the business and move on. But don't pretend to care about it and then ignore it. See, I'm calling people out here because sometimes we need that cold dose of reality. Now, I'm going to point out, I understand there are typos in these graphics. That's because they are not finished yet. These are design studies that we just started working on this week, and we're going to start putting them out there and testing them in the marketplace, but I'm going to be using them as an example here. There's a lot of typos in them because they're on phase 3. I put them through 5 phases of tweaks before they're ready. And the final phase is where we do things like fix typos and stuff like that. Right now, it's the graphics people. They just throw the text on there just to show where the text is going to go. So no big deal. I understand there are typos, but we're going to point out the strategy behind these graphics, and I'm going to show you some new ones. So first of all, this is how detailed I want you to take your marketing, guys. This is how serious it is. So it has to be a process. And here's how this process works. And we're going to start off with LinkedIn. All right, and then we're going to apply it to a landing page. So the first thing that we look at is when somebody's on your profile, we got to get their attention. So you have to either attract or distract them. Attract or distract is phase 1. So attract or distract means I can do that through graphics that are eye-popping. I can do that through colors. I can do that through contrast, and I can do that through elements. I can also do that through placement of an element. So we understand that humans tend to read, at least here in the US, left to right, all right? So I could do a couple of things to get people to start where I want them to start. Number one is I make the font bolder and larger than the font that's on the right. And this is about 4 keys larger and it's bolder, okay? Number 2 is for those that aren't going to start over here, I'm still going to control where they put their eyeballs through this guy here. Why? Because I have him pointing at something. When people point at something, we almost can't help but look at what they're pointing at. And if you come over here and you read, kind of strange thing to do, right? I cannot read that. It's very difficult to read that without coming up here and saying, okay, now I want to know what's strange. So this intrigues me enough to where I want to read this as well, right? So whether they start here or start here, they're still going to end up reading this. So hey, here's an idea. Let's connect here on LinkedIn, then never ever speak. Doesn't that sound great? Sarcasm. We're just making fun of the fact that so many people connect and then never do anything. How frustrating is that? It is kind of weird when you think about it. Why have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 connections if I'm never going to communicate with them? What's the point? I'm just collecting connections at that point. So then I have a call to action that shoots them to my profile. Now, I'm not happy with this text. This is just placeholder text. I'll show you the final versions in a couple of days when we roll it out. And then you'll see what we went with. But the bottom line is we attracted them or distracted them. We controlled where their eye movement went. We got them to maybe crack a little bit of a smile, and we have a call to action on the image, right? So that drives them to the next level to do what we want them to do. Too many of us rely on people figuring out what to do on their own. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. We can't do that. You got to tell them. When you put your call to action there, you will get higher conversions. Now let's look at this one. Had a bad experience with the loan officer? Okay, so this is a completely different approach. Now, again, the color contrasts are eye-popping. That black background with the white. Now, I got a alternative one. I had them pop a white background with black on here because we could do it either way. Why don't you let me know in the chat below if you're watching this on YouTube. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you prefer. Personally, I think that the black is more striking also because it's more balanced because of the fact that this white background is a negative space. So you have these hard edges here that you don't have with the black. So this looks more like a proper banner to me. Okay. But what we're really engaging them with is asking them a question and empathizing. You got to empathize. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I'm letting them know that these issues, I'm addressing 4 core complaints that people tend to have about loan officers. Why don't you ever call back? This isn't the interest rate you promised me. This is the 3rd time you rescheduled the closing. How many people went through closing and had it delayed, or maybe even delayed again or again, right? This payment's way higher than you promised. These are all common complaints that people have. Well, you deserve to relax. I'll make it easy for you. There's no need for a repeat of that experience. How would you like calm, predictable, and straightforward experience this time? Send me a message below and I'll explain how. Again, that's a very clear call to action. Send me a message. This time, I'm not just sending them to my profile, telling them to scroll down. I'm actually telling them to reach out and send me a message. Powerful, guys. Very powerful. Look at the emotions in this guy's face. It's hard to look at this without reading in these little bubble boxes, right? You sucked them in. You distracted them from what they were doing, and now you got them doing what you want them to do. You got them giving you, your banner, their attention. Not just popping from profile to profile. I get them to stop what they're doing and pay attention to me. Okay, here's another one. So this one's cut off a little bit from the box on my screen capture here. But it says, hey, look, it's another boring profile of a loan officer who never calls people back and quotes unrealistic interest rates. Haha, just kidding. Actually, I'm nothing like those guys. Read my profile below to see how I'm different. So now I throw the ball in your court as a loan officer to put what you want in your profile. You know, if you earn their attention, what would you want to say to them? See, that's how you have to approach your marketing, guys. When I say you got to take it serious. No one in the right mind can look at the fact that out of 76 profiles, that 54 of them literally did not even see it worth their while to upload an image. And then even amongst those who did, less than a quarter of them who did anything other than clouds, or here's an empty field, or here's a picture of a house. Some of them that put text in there, put their logo, and then put something like loans that matter, or some completely empty, meaningless quote. That is not a call to action. That doesn't make me go, yeah, what a good mortgage company. Or yeah, I really want to look at this person's profile. That is literally a token effort, guys. Every single time a prospect looks at you, you have an opportunity. It is an opportunity to get more business, to stand out. Look at why I use these bold colors or contrasting colors, because I want to stand out. I use these funny taglines or slogans or things that are more in your face and outrageous, because I want them to remember me. If you get them to smile while everybody else looked exactly the same, you've already won. You're already ahead of your competition. Look at this one down here. Look at this cute and fluffy cat. Isn't it cute? Now that I've attracted your attention, I'd really love it if you take a look at my profile too. Hey, your eyeballs go here. I got the arrow pointing down. Yep, I'm exploiting this cute kitty to attract your attention. This one's more, this is experimental. I've not tried it yet, so I can't even tell you how well it converts. All I know is I kind of dreamt it up as I was reading through some statistics on conversions and how cats and dogs and puppies and babies ads that show these three things tend to convert better. So I decided to just kind of joke about that on this one and make fun of it a little bit and see if I can get a smile on their face. Because all I want them to do is read my profile. Once I've earned their attention, then I can hit them up with my call to action, right? Right now, the call to action in my banner is to go and take a look at my profile. Once they're on my profile, now it's step 2. I don't know if this is going to convert well. For all I know, it could be a complete flop. All I know is that I'm tapping into a proven technique, and my theory is that it will get a lot of people to take a look at my profile and probably a lot of people to reach out and comment about it if past experiences are any indication. But I cannot say that with any certainty until I test it. Testing is the key. But see, to get to the point of testing, I first have to care enough about my marketing to actually not just throw out a token effort and then complain when I'm not getting business. When something like a pandemic happens, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for those people who have already set their fundamentals up properly to now fall back on those fundamentals to keep themselves from crashing. Because everybody around you is going to crash. Because most people, most loan officers have not structured their business in such a way that they have good, solid fundamentals. Instead, they're just flying by the seat of their pants. And that makes me sad because there's a lot of really, really good loan officers out there, really good people that are suffering and their business is suffering because they chose to fly by the seat of their pants. But regardless of whether you're a good loan officer and a good person or not, it doesn't change the fact that your business is yours. No other human being on the planet is responsible for your business more than you. You are where you are today because of the decisions you made yesterday and the day before and the day before. Right? Has very little to do with the marketplace. It's having the fundamentals to fall back on. Now, now that you see how we can even use something as simple as a banner, let's look at a landing page. Okay. Now, I'm showing this landing page because this is more to do directly with your database. Because, and by the way, those banners, it doesn't matter whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Instagram. I would make them. I'd use this exact same concepts on all of those platforms and have congruency across all the platforms with all my banners. They would all look roughly the same. Same colors, matching calls to action and whatnot, just minor tweaks for each platform. But you want congruency across your platforms. Now, this is not a typical landing page, as you can see. This is a landing page. This is what I call a phase 2 engagement page. In other words, it's not meant for cold traffic. This is a landing page. If I have a database, let's say 500, 600 people, I need to re-engage with them. I need to segment them. Remember, the past couple of weeks, I've been talking about segmenting. The guys who are making money right now with their database, it's because they segmented. They know who's in the market, so they know who to focus on. And because of that, they're still making money and getting lots of loans in their pipeline, getting it ready for when they can close. So here, I need to segment my database. So I'm going to do that by sending a page that's a little more wordy. I wouldn't use this much verbiage if this were for cold traffic, but since it's with an intent to re-engage and segment, I really need to get those emotions going. So take a look at this lies uninstalling down at the bottom, combined with this headline. Some days you've just had enough of all the lies and confusion. It kind of hits you right here if you're a prospect. And a lot of them really are sick and tired of just all the BS that they feel like they're running into, right? So one of the most frustrating parts of buying a new home is navigating all the lies, misinformation, and confusion that surrounds it. Even those who are well-meaning often end up unintentionally spreading misinformation. Think of it as the fake news of the home buying process. So do you think that maybe resonates a little more with those messages, those little canned messages that you get with those pre-written? Again, can I at least get agreement there for the people who are using the pre-written campaigns, right? The ones where everybody gets the same thing, the canned. That's a token effort, isn't it? Can you really say that was your best, that represents the best you had to offer with following up with your database? If your prospects knew that you're, okay, yeah, I'm paying this $50 a month so that all this is pre-written, I didn't take the time to write even a single word to you, do you think they would be impressed? Or do you think you might be a little embarrassed that they're just canned emails that 10,000 other people are out there sending to their database as well? It's a token effort, isn't it? I'm not saying this to criticize. I'm saying this to point out that you got to do better. You got to put forth your best. If you want extraordinary results, you can't give a token effort. I understand the appeal. I understand the draw of something like that. But you need something custom. You need something that represents you. If you're truly better and you represent a better effort and people should choose you over your competition, then why aren't these types of efforts representing that? Why are you doing the exact same thing as everybody else, but then saying, I'm not like everybody else? It's not congruent, isn't it? It doesn't make sense. So something like this is hitting them from a different angle. I'm re-engaging them because guess what happens? Anybody, if I send this to my database and they click, what do you think the very first thing that happens is? I drop a cookie on them. They go into a different segment. The people who don't click stay in a cold folder. Those who click go into a warm folder. Now, if I were to scroll down here, now I can't on this because this is just an image. It's not a live page. It's just a screenshot of the top. But underneath this is a call to action and a button. If they were to take that next step, then they would go into my hot category. So I got cold, warm, and hot. Because if they take that final step, I know they are very interested. But even the fact that they opened up my email and clicked on the link tells me that there's some level of interest, so they're still going to go into my warm category. But now I'm going to hit them up with engagement pages like this for the next couple of months. I'm not just going to throw one or two out there and they go, well, I guess they're not interested. That would be a very token effort thing to do. So let me give you the pathway that we follow here. So your message and your path, check it out. Step one that we do is, I don't care whether we're talking email, landing pages, re-engagement pages, voice drops, the banner to your LinkedIn, banner to your Facebook, a YouTube video, a paid Facebook ad. Your intent is always going to be to attract or distract them from what they're doing. A pattern disruption. We can do that through colors. We can do that through the image itself. We could do that through a contrast between the image and the background. We could do that through the elements of the page, which means things such as the size and the heaviness of the font and the location of the font, and then the subject matter of the page itself. So within the elements, I might even use a background like swimming sharks or something. I got a landing page out there like that. Man, it's powerful. I've already been testing. God, that convert. Oh, so nice, so nice. Because we kind of work that in with the mortgage team, believe it or not. It actually fits very nicely with the home shopping process. So there's lots of ways that you can do that. But do you see now how you can't just give a token effort, guys. So either you learn to do these things yourself or pay somebody to do it. Those are your only two options in business. There's no magic fairy going to wave a wand and do it for you. Nobody's going to come in and say, hey, I'm a 20-year expert at this that tends to get amazing results, and I'm just going to sit down and do all this for free for you. I'm going to spend the next 60 hours setting this all up for you, tweaking it, setting up your automations, doing custom writing, doing the blah, 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 blah. No, not going to happen. It's up to you. It's your business, your paycheck. Either you care enough about it to go and learn to do it yourself, or you're going to get somebody to do it for you. Pick one. If you don't, then don't complain. Just accept that you're going to operate at about half the performance that you should be, maybe even more. Okay? It's that simple, guys. I know it's nothing new there, but we need that reminder to hit us in the face. Next, you need to engage with empathy and relevance. Now, I bring you back to the pictures of the guy, the upset guy with the 4 quote bubbles. You know, him with his 4 complaints, various stages. That's engaging with empathy. When they read that, They just went and looked at the guy with the blank background, and they look at another profile. It's got some clouds in the background. Then they see that. They go, wow, this guy gets it. Yeah, you know what? Last time I did a loan, 5 days before closing, they told me that my lock expired and rates had gone up and blah, blah, blah. And I was pissed off, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the fact that you're the only person that called that out right there on your profile, no less. Do you think that they might remember you more? Do you think that they might give you a little more trust and credibility? Do you think that they might be a little more intrigued by your profile and to look at your profile than the dude with the freaking clouds and the other one with the blank background image? Those look like people who don't really care. I'm not saying that they don't. Maybe they care a whole bunch. I'm sure they just got too busy, and there's lots of reasons, aka excuses, why they didn't finish it. But this is business, guys. Perception matters. The perception is this person doesn't care a whole heck of a lot. So number 3, what's the next step? That means you got to tell them. You can't just let them figure it out and say, well, they already know what to do. No. You tell them what you want them to do. Rule number 1 in marketing. And by the way, if you go look at my profile's empty right now too. You know why? That's by design, because I'm actually in the middle of recording a tutorial on how to set one up. Now, I am guilty in that I left my profile. I just let my profile go in the dumpster for a very, very long time. I had to get a big reminder because I was getting so much business from YouTube, from my email list, and from lots of other places. Yeah, I just don't really need this. But as I've seen it, LinkedIn just in general exploding over the past year, I said, okay, it's time to drink my own medicine. So guys, it might sound embarrassing to be called out on it, but you know what? I had to call myself out on it. So now I'm in the middle of, after doing it for everybody else, it's like the doctor who's not really healthy, but he's really good at helping other people. You can't just keep operating like that. At some point, you got to take your own medicine. So I'm in the middle of I'm recording how I'm rebuilding it to show you guys and demonstrate. Here's what I would do. So either the end of this week or early next week, I'm going to have a video showing you how to create something that actually gets you business, because we're killing it on LinkedIn right now, guys. Specifically for getting loans and for getting realtor referrals. But I want your takeaway to be this, guys. Every moment you're in front of a prospect is an opportunity. You're on stage. Could you imagine a celebrity showing up for the big day of filming with nothing to say? Yeah, I didn't rehearse. No. They're a celebrity for a reason. They're good at what they do for a reason, because they prepare. So you have to view every moment as a spotlight's on you whenever there's a possibility that prospects, the public's going to see your profile, see something of yours. Tell everybody what you do. Show them why you're different. Don't just tell them. Are you presenting a congruent message across all channels and all media? So here's the thing, guys. If you want help, either do this yourself, or if you want help, I don't know, maybe you want my help. If you want my help, send me an email. Respond to the email that sent you to this video. cweber@averagejoelo.com. cweber@averagejoelo.com. Respond to the email. Or you could just shoot me a quick message to reach out to you in the comment section of this video. You can call me, send me an email, put a comment below. We can talk. We do done for you, complete done for you. If you want to do it yourself, if you're actually going to do it, please do yourself a favor and follow these guidelines. Don't put forth a token effort. I know there's a million reasons we tell ourselves why. Not one of them is worth it though. Saving time. I'm too busy. But we make time for the things that matter. When business is down, every little thing, every fundamental matters 10 times more. And that's why if it sounds like I'm browbeating lately, it's because I'm hearing so much from people that are hurting. And it hurts me to read these stories. They're sad stories, and I feel bad. But at the same time, very few people want to take risks. It's always, well, it's because of the guy. No. I'm trying to be as empathetic as possible, but at the same time, give a little tough love. We got to be adults and take responsibility that we did not structure our business properly. There is zero excuses to be in business for more than 6 months and still not have a database, guys. Either it's serious enough for you to go and get it done, or to learn and do it yourself. Saying I'm not good at technology, well, then you learn. If you know you're not going to do it, then the responsible thing to do is to pay to get it done. These are literally the only two options, right? But please take it serious, because this can save your business from this happening again, right? Use this formula. Re-engage, segment your database, and I promise you, you will get more business. You will convert more. You'll be a much, much happier place and more stable position once you finally got that taken care of, all right? So in the meantime, guys, again, I'm going to be doing some more tutorials. I got some really, really cool things I'm going to be showing you. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, leave in the chat section, the comment section below the video. If you need to reach out to me, you can. My email, cweber@averagejoelo.com. And in the meantime, please be safe. Be safe out there. Make it a great one. Talk to you later, guys. Bye now.